How's it going, guys? Chris from Blu-ray Critic, and today I'll be reviewing years 3 and 4 for the Harry Potter films on 4K, which is Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban and the Goblet of Fire. But first up is year 3, which is my personal favorite of all the Potter films, and the 4K presentation doesn't disappoint either. And it seems like as the films progress, the picture quality tends to get better too, as the HDR provides a nice rich color palette with very nice looking black levels. And right off the bat, I was able to see the difference on how nice the picture looked versus the Blu-ray. The grain was also intact and it had a nice balance to it, although some scenes had a bit of softness to it, which is understandable because of all the visual effects involved, but the overall film looks very pleasing to the eyes on 4K, which is why I rate the picture quality a 4.5 out of a 5. And the audio gets a 5 out of a 5 as it features the DTS-X mix, and it's a great sounding track with clarity and bass throughout. I didn't come across any issues whatsoever with the audio. And as far as features, it's loaded with a lot of great stuff. I mean, it's the Potter films we're talking about, so you get all the features from the previous Blu-ray releases. And as I mentioned in my previous reviews for the Potter films on 4K, this edition also continues the great documentary Creating the World of Harry Potter Part 3. All in all, this is a solid release to pick up on 4K. And now for the Goblet of Fire. Unfortunately, the picture quality takes a step back compared to the Prisoner of Azkaban. The colors look good but not great, and the overall look of the picture suffers from softness, especially during most of the visual effects shots. But in other scenes, the sharpness comes across, decent looking, especially during close-ups and whatnot. But keep in mind, the image has a slight aqua green tint to it in many of the CGI scenes, which causes a bit of a hazy look to it. But overall, the 4K release looks better than the Blu-ray thanks to the HDR and the breathing room on the disc. But it's not a perfect presentation. But either way, fans of the franchise will be pleased to watch these films on 4K. And honestly, I don't see these films looking any better than this because, post-production on these movies were completed in 2K, which means it's an upscale to 4K. So my rating for the picture and audio for this 4K release is a 4 out of a 5 for the picture and a 4.5 for the DTS-X mix. It's a very nice sounding audio track. And just as years 1, 2, and 3 and the rest of them, this comes loaded with many features, including part 4 of the Harry Potter documentary. So in conclusion, you can finally complete your 4K collection of the Harry Potter films in one box set that contains all 8 films together, or you can get them individually as I'm showing them here. And as we close out the year, this will make perfect gift items for all fans. But just note, it's not the most perfect presentations of the films, but it's the best way to experience this franchise and the likes of which you haven't seen before. So that's my review of the Harry Potter films years 3 and 4. Thanks for taking a look, and I'll see you guys soon in my next update. Take care.